Hello and welcome to the Audi FIS Ski Racing World Cup Tour, coming to you live from the Austrian Tyrol and the spectacular winter resort of Gurgl, high up in the Ostal Valley. It's Slalom 2 of 11 that comes to you live here on FIS TV, a two-run competition where we will start in just a few minutes' time with 59 racers representing 20 different national ski associations and countries, whittling it down to the fastest 30 after the premier run, the first leg, and then the fastest 30 going in reverse order on the second leg. This is a really spectacular race here. High altitude, great winter sport conditions, and big crowds to follow the world's best. We're on the Kirchenkar racetrack, 2,475 meters. And that's pretty high. And of course, for all of you tuning in across the United States of America or old school in the UK, that's over 8,000 feet for the start hut of this men's slalom competition. It's a beautiful track, this Kirchenkar race piste here in Gurgl. Gives a little bit of everything, some flat, some steep, some terrain to ski through, with a 62% maximum inclination and an 18% minimum. Oh, it's a really good race. New to the World Cup calendar, only the third time the men have raced here, starting back in 2023 when Gurgl made its World Cup debut with an Austrian clean sweep to go with it. Manu Feller, Marco Schwarz, Mickey Matt taking the 1, 2, 3 in Gurgl's opening men's World Cup slalom. And last year, the Olympic champion Clement Noel won the race ahead of Christopher Jakobsen of Sweden and this gentleman on screen, Atli McGrath, finishing in third place. Now, if you were unable to join us last weekend at Finland's premier winter resort of Levi, well, the headlines from there were really quite spectacular, with Pinheiro, Lucas Pinheiro Broughton, now racing for Brazil and bringing the South American country their first ever World Cup victory. And there is Pinheiro claiming the first of 11 slaloms to be contested this season. From Gurgl, we'll head to Val d'Isère and Alta Badia before the Christmas break, then on to Madonna di Campiglio. And the tour rolls on to the highlight of the season, many will say, the 25th Winter Olympic Games in Milan Cortina from the 6th of February to the 22nd of that month, and then all the way through to our World Cup finals after the Winter Games, finishing up in Lillehammer from the 21st to the 25th of March. So there's our previous two winners, and Clement Noel, for me, is one of the big favourites, having finished runner-up to Lucas Broughton in Finland last weekend. Look at these spectacular winter views. It is cold, but perfect alpine race conditions. -12 to -10 from top to bottom of the race piste today. 62 gates, of which 61 are turning gates. And Thomas Karlsson, one of the Swedish coaches, has set the first pattern of turns for this opening leg, with the new pattern of turns, of course, on the second run. The Norwegians will set the second leg. That may play to the advantage of one or two of the Vikings' performance. Andreas Kollenborg will be our course setter for the second leg. And, of course, the main race referees and race directors are all here, including Marcus Wallner, our race director for the FIS, the International Ski and Snowboard Federation, once again watching over this race. Now let's have a look with Thomas Sikora himself, a former World Cup slalom champion back in the day. Let's look at the rhythm, the pace and the tempo. You can see that it's quite steep from the get-go here in Gurgl. You really need to be on your tippy toes and motivated. Very different to the opening turns that we saw in Levi last weekend, where you get that flat section to get yourself into the rhythm. You really do need to be on point. This is the steepest part of the challenge on the Kirchenkar racetrack here. 62% gradient. Then something that we often talk about here on live TV, this transition, bringing that speed and all that technical skill off the pitch and onto the flat, moving the middle to the tail of the skis with the body, slight lowering of the body position for the charge and power play in the closing turns. And this is the flattest part of the track, right at the end of the challenge. So you need to save a little bit of reserve in the tank for a very dynamic, fast footwork in those finishing turns to wrap it all up. Well, there's plenty of fans from all over the world, from Switzerland to Italy to Austria, the big Alpine nations, to Great Britain, Brazil, Bulgaria, to name but a few. Once again, the ski racing fans have travelled up to this high-altitude race, and they have been blessed with some cold but perfect Alpine conditions for today's slalom. Round 2 of 11 of the Audi FIS Ski World Cup Tour for the slalom discipline. That altitude is something that will make the air quite thin and bring a physical aspect to this challenge today. It's a wonderful piste, great ski resort, very, very popular. Over 112 kilometers of perfectly groomed piste. And there, right on cue, last year's winner here, France's most successful male slalom skier. He's actually chasing Perrine Pellin. How many of you remember Perrine? She was a spectacular French female slalom racer. Perrine Pellin has 15 victories. Clément Noël has 14. The winner of the opening race of the Audi FIS Ski World Cup for slalom last weekend in Levi, Finland, Pinheiro from Brazil. And he did a great little pre-race interview earlier saying that he's got a new dance floor and he's got a new set of skills to show. And look at this, perfect for Pinheiro, starting with bib number 1. Bib number 2 is Clément Noël, last year's winner. Christophersen, defending World Cup slalom champion, with 3. Timmy Haugen starts with bib number 4 for the Vikings. Atle McGrath, 3 of them in a row for Norway. Then we see Loic Meillard, still to strike top gear so far in the early part of the season. Fabio Gestrein, first of the Austrians. Daniel Yule, new equipment this season, still getting the hang of it. Tanguy Neff, a skier always to watch. Stephen Amier, second of the French skiers in the top seed. Now, the British ski team had a marvellous start to the season last weekend, 2 in the top 10. And Dave Riding heads up, as always, the British trio, 3 of them here today. Laurie Taylor, off the back of a career best result in Levy last weekend, 4th position, moves up a little bit in the running order. Laurie Taylor starts with bib number 27. And let's not forget Billy Major. Alan Baxter, team coach for GB, tells me that Billy Major is one of the quickest in training. Do not write off Billy yet. I think he's got a great chance in these conditions today. But any one of the 3 racers from the British ski team have proven to the world that they have the skills and speed to mix it with the big names, and there could be a potential huge result after last weekend's cracker 2 in the top 10. Could be the same story for GBR today. Many thanks to Mickey Kugler and his team from Austrian television for some beautiful world feed pictures here today. The master behind the TV picture, Mickey Kugler. And let's get this race underway. 40 seconds on the clock and counting down.
Jawohl, alles gut, alles bereit. Alle in Position, gute Verbindung, sind wir bereit, können wir pünktlich starten, laut Programm. Von uns aus Strecke frei. ORF, GI, sind wir bereit?
Ready to race in Wonderland, Markus.
Marcus Waldner, race referee and race director for the FIS, gives the all clear. We are ready. Round 2 of the Audi FIS Ski World Cup, run 1 of 2. But this really shapes the competition, this opening performance, before we flip the top 30 going into the second leg. It was an historical day last weekend in Levi, Finland for Lucas Broughton, picking up Brazil's first ever Alpine Ski Racing World Cup victory. Can he go 2 from 2? 6 wins, 18 podiums. Beautiful skiing skills last weekend. Oh, and he looks a little nervous in the opening turns. Pinheiro is in trouble. Gates 3, 4 and 5 going horribly wrong. And you're not going to win World Cup races with mistakes like that in the opening turns. He settles the butterflies, works his way through the steep. Now the accurate footwork, flow and rhythm comes under his control. But those opening turns for Pinheiro were a nightmare. And he knows it. What he's trying to do is deflect that momentum with as short, as sharper turn as possible, flow with the terrain, let gravity pull him down the mountain. But Pinheiro throws the race wide open, stops the clock at 52.85 seconds. He will not be happy with that at all. Well, his father, Bjorn, leads the team. His coach, Michael Pircher, former coach, of course, of Marcel Hirscher. But that is not what you want to do on the opening turns. He's got his hands in his back pockets. The weight is on the tails. And most importantly, the speed is slipping away. No, he says, no, oh no, oh no. Here's the Olympic slalom champion and the most successful male French slalom skier of all time, Clément Noël. I had the pleasure of recording a podcast with Clément earlier this week. He is such a cool cat, a beautiful skier, and a true Frenchman at heart. When away from the rigors of the World Cup Tour, he loves a glass of wine and good local food and produce with his friends and family. Oh, he's in trouble as well. Entrance to the pitch, Clément Noël. You could hear the skis juddering and bouncing. The Frenchman is struggling to find the clean arc. And again, another small mistake. They're all coming. Not sure that Clément's got the setup on point here. And by setup, I mean the preparation of the skis to be in harmony with that piste and snow condition. Oh, this is unbelievably 0.14. Now he's charging, but not bringing the speed off the steep he was hoping for. Clément Noël, 0.25, right side of the clock, into top position. But again, he shakes his head in the finish area. That was not clean. It's a tough test. It means it grabs the ski, very grippy. Still a look of disbelief from Lucas Broughton. Clément Noël sets the early pace, takes the lead, lowers the mark to 52.60, but we're still to see a clean run on this tricky piste. This is the legendary Henrik Kristoffersen, yet to find top gear this season, but as the defending World Cup slalom champion, a skier you can never write off. 33 World Cup wins, 95 podiums. There's an opportunity here for Kristoffersen to take the lead. Again, another skier that I had in the record studio for the Alpine Pulse Unplugged official podcast of the FIS. Interesting tactic here from Kristoffersen. And he's fully stretched, and the errors are creeping in again. Not quite the race pace and tempo that we saw from Pinheiro and from Clément Noël, the current French leader. He's opting for a smooth, clean, tactical turn here. Now he goes through the gears. Now he starts to charge and search for the turbo, but he's not bringing the pace off the steep that he had hoped. And he's off the pace by 0.49. Henrik Kristoffersen of Norway. Ooh, another one that will not be happy. Just looked to be a little pensive, I would say, in those opening turns. Slightly over-skiing, and when I say over-skiing, holding on to that turning edge for a split second too long. Don't get me wrong, this is world-class ski racing. But again, we've seen so much better in previous races from Henrik. Still wide open. Let's move to the top of the Kech, and oh, there's a problem with one of the marshals. It is steep, it is icy. You can see the gentleman in the brown suit has got the crampons on his boots. No crampons, and it is tough. Listen to the words from the starting at full gas from the coaches towards Timmy Haugen, third in the slalom tour standings of last season, 5th position for Timmy in the opening slalom of the Audi FIS Ski World Cup. Now, come on, Timmy Haugen. There's a golden opportunity to take top spot here. Yet to see a racer put down a clean run. Wonderful drone shot. Look at the swing, the offset of the turn here. still holds the green light. Timmy Haugen, 28-year-old Norwegian racer, 4 wins, 10 podiums. Attempt to find on the closeout. This is one of his specialist moves, off the steep onto the flat, working the mid part of the race ski. Timmy Haugen dives for the line. Timmy Haugen takes the lead for Norway. 900ths of a second, right side of the clock for the young Viking. Good skiing from Timmy Haugen. 9th in this race last year, 6th the year before that. One of only 4 competitors to claim 2 top 10s on the race piste here in Gurgl, Austria. No room for rest, is there? Clement Noël, well, he knew that his first run performance was not clean enough. Let's stick with the Norwegians. This is Atle McGrath. American father, Norwegian mother. On the podium in the opening giant slalom of the season, picked up a DNF in Levy. Now, solid first run performance here to reinstill the confidence and self-belief. I like the rhythm on the opening turns. Just a split second off with the radius of the turn, but this is good work on the steep. 0.11, a little cautious maybe in those opening turns, but now he settles. Another skier with 16 podiums and 3 wins. Don't forget that Atle McGrath was 3rd in this race last year, and that experience. This is a tactical ski from Atle. Took the top turns to settle the nerves. Now he's flying. New leader, surely. Atle McGrath goes to the top of the table. 52.12 for McGrath. That's a little more like it. And that confidence from his performance here a year ago transfers to a real tactical skill, I would describe this, from Atle McGrath. Tricky turns at the top, and he takes his time there. And then from the mid part of the steep to the finish, he's even got the Didier Couche helicopter salute with the head skis. That's going to take some beating. Lovely performance. 52.12 is now the new target time. Loic Meillard of Switzerland. Runner-up to Henrik Kristoffersen in the Slalom Tour standings of last season, but has gone no better than 14th in his first 2 races of the 26 Audi FIS Ski World Cup Tour. Another skier that I had the pleasure of sitting down with for an hour or so before this race in Gurgl for the Alpine Pulse Unplugged official FIS podcast. Please tune in. This guy gave us a real insight into what he's all about. He's calm, he's quiet, he's sophisticated and cool. I think this is Switzerland's James Bond. He really does have all of the skills and a license to thrill. Now, can he find top gear? We've yet to see his best form, but this is early days. As we said at the top of our show, round 2 of 11. 0.89 off the pace, slightly over skiing the steep. Very confident in the closing turns. Needs to find a 10th or 2. Looking for a top 3 performance in this opening leg. Still not there, is it, for Loic Meillard? 1.08 off the pace. Some very clean, technically sound turns. Just struggling to find the timing and the tempo. Beautiful replay coming off the flat onto the steepest part of the challenge. Norway 1 and 2. There's Atle McGrath in the Audi leader's chair. Timmy Haugen next to it. Clement Noël lies 3rd. First of the Austrian challengers, and the winner here back in 2023. Oh, this is not Manufella, this is Fabio Gustrein. My apologies. Getting a little carried away. 10th in the opening race of the season for Fabio Gustrein. Big breakthrough on last season's World Cup Tour with podiums in Schladming and in Sun Valley, Idaho. And the smaller men on the slalom tour, but with real fast feet, very dynamic, fast-moving style. Second green light. Listen to the Austrian fans roaring him home. Oh, this is lovely footwork. Look at this rhythm. Pressure, edge, turn, release from gate to gate, foot to foot. Lovely on the steep. Can he carry the speed through? The light goes red, 0.11 to find. That's well within Gustrein's reach here. Gustrein. Oh, just running out of a little bit of pace in the close. Beautiful turns and execution on the upper part of the challenge from Fabio Gustrein. Just let it slip a little. In the second part, he's definitely the local hero here. Lives just down the valley in Solden in the Ottstal Valley, in this beautiful part of the Austrian Tyrol. Stephen Amier. Oh, the coach did a great job of motivating Amier there. Daniel Yule for the Swiss team, next on track. This is Dave Riding's best buddy on the slalom tour. New skis, 7 wins, 17 podiums, but a big switch from Fischer to Atomic. And he's the first to admit that he's struggling. Oh, and he's struggling here very low and late in the line. Skillful skiing to make the correction. But 0.43. Yeah, he's paying the price. Slightly over-skiing this as well. Not as easy as you think to switch from one ski manufacturer to another. And it'll take some time by the look of this skiing from Daniel Yule to find consistency, different piece, different snow conditions. Still Switzerland's most successful World Cup slalom racer, but 7th position, a second off the pace. That is also a little frustrating for the Swiss skier. See the ski breakaway, didn't load it high or early enough. Doesn't get the pressure edge turn to round the turn. And again, you see how the ski breaks away from underneath him there? Loads it up way too late. Skillful skiing to make the recovery stay out of trouble. Let's stay with the Swiss challenge. Tanguy Neff. Another skier that found a wonderful thread of consistency to his challenge for last season. Over half a dozen top 10 results, but didn't make the podium. Now he needs to make that big breakthrough. That was a much cleaner arc in the turn on the breakaway to the steep pitch. Good skiing from Tanguy Neff. Matteo Joris is the slalom coach for the Swiss team. Firmly believes that Tanguy Neff could make a big breakthrough this season. Nice and quiet with the upper body. Lets the flexion and extension of the legs do all the work against the turning skis. Watch him carefully. Here comes the first Swiss challenger here. Tanguy Neff now. Finish line within his sight. Switzerland need a skier in the hunt here. The rest of the team have struggled. Wonderful skiing from Tanguy Neff. Into runner-up position. Splits the Norwegians, who now go first and third. And that's a little more like it from Tanguy Neff. Mr. Consistency looking to strike for the podium. And look at the clean turn that we see from Tanguy here, that was not coming Daniel Yule's way. Look how he press, edge, turn, gets the clean arc, gets the grip. Wonderful skiing. There's Fella, winner here in 2023. He too would dearly love a big result today. But it's France next in the gate. This is Stephen Amier, 27 years of age, from Pralognan-la-Vanoise. Beautiful little village just below the ski resort of Courchevel. Top 10 result for Stephen in the season opener in Levi, Finland. 8th position there. Another skier with a similar story to Tanguy Neff. Real good, consistent performances, but didn't hit the podium last season. Winning on the... Oh, he's gone on the inside! Oh, so close to a tumble there. Lightningly fast skills to stay on his feet. At that .23, green light may well turn red. Yeah, he pays the price for the error. 600's off now for Stephen Amier. Got to... respect the commitment, really pushing the boundaries, the Frenchman on those opening turns. Knocked his confidence a little, taking a little bit of the sting out of the performance. He's now half a second off the pace at the halfway split, but Amier now. Frenchman, 7th position. Wonderful recovery skills. Look at him, he's almost down. He's on the inside ski. He's lost his balance and position. Clément Noël. Joséphine Fournier, the media coordinator for the French team, all with their hearts in their mouths. But good recoveries from Amier, but drops down to 7th. Germany's top slalom racer, Linus Strasser. 15th position in the opening slalom of the season. A wealth of experience. 5 World Cup victories against his name. And most importantly, new skis this season for Linus. After many, many years with the Rossignol team, he switched to the head team. And the coaches tell us, and the German slalom coach, Bernd Brunner, tells us that he's really learned the dynamic of the head skis very quickly. A couple of errors on the upper part here, but he settled it again nicely. I think the head ski could be the secret to success for Linus Strasser this season. Often a change of ski manufacturer just adds a little more life into the career, and Strasser goes 4th. Good position to strike from on the second run. Please don't forget, 2 runs is the name of the game in tech races of the Audi FIS Ski World Cup Tour, and he's done well to salvage 4th position there. Just lost the rhythm a little bit on the upper part of the challenge. Look, he's coming in here out of position, struggling, all twisted with the upper body, but that core strength keeps him in balance, keeps the challenge alive, and I think the German number 1 has done well to dig a 4th position out of this first run. Well, the fans are in the crowd. They've come to support him. This is his home resort. Dave riding. 9 years the sponsorship of Gurgl, our race venue today, and this is his last race. Riding is desperate, determined to sign off in his home resort in style. 4th here back in 2023, coming off the back of a brilliant performance in the season opener in Levi, where he took 7th. Dave, got to be careful here. Just a little over-aroused in the opening turns. And of course, the British number 1, renowned for his tactical prowess and skills on the mountain. Lovely shot from the drone of that sweeping turn. 0.46 off the pace. Just a little nervous, I think it's fair to say, in the opening turns. Dave, who'll be 39 years of age on the 5th of December. Now, settles it. and needs a good, strong, powerful closeout here. 0.93 off the pace. Dave riding, driving, powering home. Riding, 1.23, 12th position. Well, he's going to need a second run charge. Again, a guest on the Alpine Pulse Unplugged podcast. You'll be able to hear that later. Look how wide he is in that turn. And he's making recovery moves on the next 2 to 3 gates. Well, don't worry if you're cheering for Great Britain right now. Laurie Taylor with 27 and Billy Major after him. But it's the Vikings that hold top position with Ateli McGrath of Norway. Now comes Manu Feller. They love him in this valley. Manu Feller, winner here in 2023. The leader of the Austrian clean sweep in the very first World Cup here. Now, fastest of the Austrians is Fabio Gestrein down in that 6th position. Ateli McGrath holds top spot and sets the target time at 52.12. And look at Manu Feller go through the gears, diving down the steep pitch and through the foreline. Beautiful green light in the opening section. Feller now into the halfway. Oh, he's right on the edge of his game. He's almost gone down 2-3 times, and he's pushing the boundaries here. Manu Feller charging through this steep section. And the risk-reward on the gamble is now starting to go against the Austrian. He's 0.45 off the halfway split. Now the crowd are on their feet. Finish line within Manu Feller's sights. And Manu Feller goes 5th. Oh, 0.43. That's what they come to see. That's what they love. Roswitha Stadlober, the president of the Austrian Skiverband Ski Federation, enjoyed that.
Come on!
Manu Feller spectacular on the opening turns. Just fell a little low and late in the race line towards the end of the pitch. But you just love the style and commitment from Manu Feller. It's all or bust, and almost bust here. There's Roswitha Stadlober to the left of your screens, president of the Austrian Ski Federation. That's a good first run from Manu Feller. Albert Popov for Bulgaria. 18th and 10th, his 2 results here in Gurgl. From Bansko, Bulgaria's a World Cup ski resort. Little bit of a rut starting to appear on those opening turns, but a small rut can help you find a little bit of extra speed, as well as round the turn and slow you down. But as the rut forms through each and every racer following the same line, there's a sweet spot in that cut in the snow that can help you find a little extra acceleration. Popov, the penultimate racer of the top seed. Popov, full power in the closing turns. Bulgaria's 2nd World Cup winner goes 1.16 off the pace. 13th position. Let's take a close look here. This is the entrance to the steepest part of the challenge. A 62% incline here. Just needs to be careful that he doesn't load that turning ski too aggressively and it pitches him up into the air. Once those skis lose contact with the snow, you're actually losing speed. Work to do for Popov on the second leg. And the last of the top-seeded top 15 racers representing the Croatian Ski Federation. This is Sami Koliga, 26 years of age, out of Zagreb. Solid 16th position in the opening race of the tour last weekend in Levi, Finland. Now, let's see if Sami Koliga. Oh no, Sami Koliga goes down 4 turns into the challenge. Oh, Sami. He's got the feet too close together. Doesn't get the purchase from the outside skis on the inside ski, and those feet in these icy snow conditions go underneath the body so quickly to the point of no return. And it is game over for Sami Koliga of Croatia. And he will be very, very disappointed with that. Atle McGrath of Norway in the hot seat after the top 15 ranked racers here in the first of the 2 runs in Gurgl in the Austrian Tyrol. Atle McGrath sets the target time for the second group at 52.12 seconds. Tanguy Neff is in the hunt for Switzerland. Timmy Haugen lies third, with Dave Riding down in 14th position, 1.23 seconds off the pace of the Norwegian, I should say, leader.
So let's get warm. Put your hands to the left side. All your hands to the left side. Come on. And then slowly to the right.
Christoffersen, Mufajande, Benji Ritchie, Finatsa, Zubcic, Rasa and Rachna. Now, interesting group here. And then into the third group, taking us up to bib 30, we'll see Laurie Taylor of Great Britain starting between 2 Austrians, Johannes Strolz and Marco Schwarz. Let's go to Christopher Jakobsen. Now, let's remember that his coach, Thomas Carlson, has set this pattern of turns for the first run here in Gurgl. And he was second here last year. So, confidence should be high for Christopher. Picked up a DNF in Levi last weekend. But this is a piece that he said he loves the flow and the terrain. He likes the steep early start. And he's enjoying the second steep here now. Green light at sector 1. Ooh, the ski's breaking away. He's not quite getting the purchase of that outside ski. But he cuts such a tight line. Wonderful accuracy with the footwork from the Swedish number 1. A little frustrated, I think it's fair to say, dropping out of the top seed into Group 2 as his world rank drops. Oh, Jakobsen's gone! This time coming off the steep onto the flat, loading the ski way too aggressively. Spits him out here, gets caught on the inside. Now he's in recovery mode, and there's no room to take the turn. Second DNF here. Small rut is starting to form and develop around the turning gate, with every racer following the same racing line. Lina Strasser on the team radio. Good to see.
Dass man Skigelände gut unter sich hat und danach richtiger Wachau. Ansonsten wird sich darunter nie richtig gut fühlen. Immer schauen, dass man aktiv wieder vom Ski wegkommt und sich wieder mitbewegt. Das ist das Allerwichtigste, dass man wirklich von oben bis unten ganz aktiv Ski fährt.
Oh, valuable information for Tony Tremmel and Sebastian Holtzmann, German skiers still to make their challenge. Victor Mofajande, next racer in the gate for the French team. 20th position in the season opener for Victor. Experience is the name of the game for Mufajande. This is his 254th World Cup start here today. 1 World Cup win, 11 podiums. But I think this race, piste is holding well. We haven't seen that many error-free, clean runs from top to bottom. I believe there's a chance for this group up to bib 30, maybe even beyond, for some skiers to break into the top flight from the back of the pack. But there's a big error from Mufajande, again on the breakaway to the big steep pitch, or the Steilhang as they like to call it here. But he only loses a little, still just 400ths off the pace. Victor Mufajande, a very light skier with a wonderful touch on that turning ski. From one of the smaller race teams, the Slalom team, which has been part of his career for such a long time. 0.74 now at Mufajande. Finish line within his sights, top 10 on the cards. Yes, it is. 9th position for Victor Mufajande. Beautiful opening turns from the Frenchman, making it look so easy. But then the snow changes from a grippy, aggressive snow to ice. And there, Slalom ski doesn't quite give him the grip that he's looking for. Skillful recovery skills. And does well to hold the top 10. Vini Vinazza going through his warm-up routine. But it's the Americans next in the gate. A lot of pressure on the American tech racers. It's a long streak without a podium, 142 races or a win, 208. Last podium, Nolan Kasper, 2011 season in Crunch Gurgl. Last win in this discipline for the USA was Bodie Miller back in 2005. So Benji Ritchie, who works with a British coach, Tristan Glass-Davis. Lot to prove here today, but a lot of weight on his American shoulders. East Coast racer, he'll like these icy conditions. And of course we all know, well, if you're a British ski race fan tuning in, we all know that Tristan Glass-Davis has a very, very tough, hard-working ethic on and off the mountain, and it's done nothing but shape this 25-year-old American from Vermont. Oh, there's the mistake. Oh, Benji Ritchie almost grinds to a complete standstill and starts again. What a disappointment for Benji. And that will put pay to his second run qualification, 3.61. Well, the pressure is really starting to mount on these American slalom and giant slalom racers. Again, great balance, great skills to keep the challenge flowing and not to go down and out, but that time will not be good enough to qualify for the second run. So many talented racers still to challenge. Vini Vinazza, 8th position in the opening giant slalom. Was in the hunt in Levy last weekend, only to DNF on the second run. Oh, lovely start from Vinny. Watch for the green light. But we're starting to calculate that these are the make or break turns. Still holds a good clean purchase and a good high line here. This is good work from Vinazza, 0.32 off the pace of the leading Norwegian. And now another key part of the racetrack and challenge is transition from steep to flat. Vini Vinazza, 0.78. Nice power play in the closing turns from the Italian number one. Surely a spot in the top 10. Yep, good work from Vinny. 8th position. Yep, he says, yeah, I'll take that. Still searching for his first point score in the slalom discipline this season on the Audi FIS Ski World Cup. And that is sending good vibes to the top of the race piece. Mickey Matt, who was 3rd here in the Austrian clean sweep of 2023 in Gurgl.
Okay, im
Sochi Österreich war Finanzer der Zweite.
Well, Croatia are next in the gate. This is Filip Zubcic, his sister Tamara, part of his coaching team in the Finnish area. Points in both races so far this season, but yet to crack the top 10. 15th in the Open Giant Slalom, just down the valley here in Solden, and 18th in Levy last weekend. No problem at all, is there, to be faster than Natalie McGrath from those first turns into Sector 1. Here comes Zubo now. Full flexion and extension to hold that racing line through this very steep pitch. The light goes from green to red. Remember, green, it tells us they're currently leading. Red tells us they have time to find. Still good skiing from Zubo here. He's another racer that loves this transition part of race piece from steep to flat. He needs to find a fair bit here, 1.10. Ooh, Croatia will struggle to find the top 10. And Zubo, at least he's in the finish area, skis into 16th position. But with Sami Koliga picking up a DNF and Zubo going 16th, well, still not the form that the Croatian men's tech team are looking for. Wonderful skill to get that full extension to avoid the straddle. Well, not a lot of emotion. No, even a shake of the head from his sister Tamara. Oh yeah, Zubo trying his best to conceal his frustration. Here's a young talent from the French team that's an exciting skier to watch and follow. Paco Raça. He's a Manchester United super fan, I'm told. One of the quieter lads of the French team, but a really nice technical skier. Look how he weaves those head skis through the opening turn. Oh, this is sweet. Kick-started the season with a confidence-building top 10 result last weekend in Levy, Finland, and that confidence is oozing here. 0.19 off the pace. Right now, Paco Raça of the French team skiing in third position. And here's the first big upset coming from the later numbers. Paco Raça now. Wonderfully calm and confident with the upper body balance. And now going through the gears in the closeout. Paco Raça surely in the top 10. Paco Raça not quite got the option to go as straight as he likes on those closing turns. It is 10th position for Paco Raça. It's another solid first run performance from the French racer. And in the early part of the season, looking to stake his claim for a spot in the French Olympic squad for Milan Cortina in February of next year. Lovely skiing. Nice close-up shot of Dominik Raschner for the Austrian team. Dominik now 31 years of age, 2 World Cup podiums, just a few starts away from his 100th World Cup race. Struggled to crack the top 10 last season. And of course, with 9 skiers representing Austria in this World Cup competition, if I make a quick calculation for you, 9 races in the World Cup here today, only 4 per discipline per team at the Olympic Games for the bigger quota national ski federations. So that means there's going to be 5 Austrian racers very disappointed, or put it another way, there's 9 racers looking for 4 Olympic spots. So the pressure and the need to perform at every World Cup race is so urgent for many of these. Dominik Raschner struggling for the top flight. Raschner down to 19th. It's a very tight time. They're bunching up here. Good to see Harty Vaireiter there in the middle of the screen. Former world downhill champion from Schladming back in 81, I believe. Austria ski racing legends. Raschner will need to watch that time carefully. I cannot guarantee he's done enough to qualify for the second round. So after the top 22 ranked racers, no change in the podium positions. Atli McGrath leading Tanguy Neff of Switzerland, Haugen, then Lina Strasser for Germany, Manu Feller making up the top 5. But look at this, less than a second separating the top 14 racers. It's going to be one of those dramatic and exciting second run shootouts. There's still a lot of talented racers to go. And for now, it is Norway, Switzerland, Norway. 3, 2, 1. This is Timmy Haugen, followed by Tanguy Neff, followed by Atli McGrath, still leading after the first of the 2 runs. And don't forget that Atli McGrath was 3rd in this race last year, behind Jakobsen, who has picked up a DNF, behind Clément Noël, who won this race 12 months ago, and the French racer is down in 6th position. This could be a big day for the superstar of the Norwegian squad, Atli McGrath. Superb opening run at 2. Laurie Taylor is the man that many will be watching carefully in this next group. Carrying bib number 27, fresh off the back of his brilliant and career best result of 4th in Levy last weekend. Now, the Belgium skier Armand Marchand. 11th in this race last year, has a personal best of 5th position in World Cup competition. Talented skier, Marchand. Wouldn't be a surprise to see Belgium shake up the top positions. Oh, he's in trouble going into the steep. Cut it a little bit too tight on the entry to the pitch. But again, great skiing skills. For Armand, many believe he would be a far more successful skier, but this lad has been plagued with many injuries over the years. Over 7 surgeries to both of those knees. We find ourselves talking about comeback stories so many times, but this is Marchand finding top gear. Oh, Belgium are in the top 10 surely here. Even the top 5 as Armand Marchand with a skillful ski goes into 8th. Wonderful performance from Marchand. One mistake on the entrance to the steep. The recovery skills were on point. That is very nice indeed. Out of the Swiss resort of Anzère.
Very well done,
Armand Marchand here, setting himself up to really strike for a PB and a possible podium. Look at this recovery. He knows he's got it wrong. Just dives inside the right side of the blue. And if it were not for that error, it could have been top position for Belgium's Armand Marchand. Here's another skier we have to watch very carefully. Fresh off the back of his first career podium, Eddie Hallberg for Finland. The fearless Finns are next on course. Finland's first podium in 18 years, not since Kalipalander. Back in 2007 in Altabadia have they had a skier on the podium. Now, the key for Hallberg here today is to pick it up where he left off. Find that all-important thread of consistency. As we all know, the key to success on the Audi FIS Ski World Cup. This is nice from Eddie Hallberg. And he's in the hunt again here, the Finn. Still with the green light at Sector 2. Accurate footwork, nice rhythm and tempo. Needs to keep his cool in the closeout here now. Hallberg, at just at 22 years of age, is coming in strong, fast, and fearless for Finland. Hallberg is going through the gears in the closeout. Hallberg is right. Can he take the lead? Hallberg second. Oh! Spectacular skiing. The Finns are on their feet again. Hallberg fresh off the back of a podium last weekend, could go even better here in Gurgl, Austria. Hallberg into second position. And this is turning into the sensational story of the new season. And it's all about the fearless Finns. I was worried that he may buckle under the expectation and pressure from last weekend's podium performance, and it is the opposite. Great skiing from Hallberg. It tells the racers at the top of the mountain that this course is still open to take the fastest time. Oh, it sets this race alight.
Dann Hornadel, dann Platte und dann die nächsten Jahre Richtung Momo, aber simpel halten. Schau, dass du die Zeit unter dir hast und schau, dass du einfach obi. Einfach obi.
Here's another skier looking to impress the home crowd, looking to secure his spot at the Winter Olympics. Third in this race back in 2023. Mickey Matt from St. Anton. Ninth position in Levy. On Sunday of this week now, can he pick it up where he left off? Lovely, smooth, sweet turns. Green light at sector 1. Nice entry to the steep pitch and a good dynamic switch of the turn. Got to be careful that he doesn't back off the accelerator too much on the steep, which has often been the problem for Mickey Matt, the younger brother of the legendary and Olympic slalom champion Mario Matt. But this, for me, was where Hallberg staked his claim in the top three. A really aggressive, powerful closeout. And Mickey Matt needs to do the same. Way too tentative on the pitch. Giving this mountain a little too much respect. Mickey Matt drops down the ranking. Tony Giger to the left of the screen. And Stadlober, Roswitha Stadlober, formerly Rosie Steiner. Many of you will remember herself, a World Cup slalom winner, now president of the Austrian Ski Federation. Superb start from Mickey Matt, but then just totally overskied the steep. And Mickey Matt will find himself on the cusp of qualification.
Aufholjagden kann hat ganz kein Ohr bei seinen Weltcups sind ja auch unfassbar viel gut gemacht dann im zweiten Durchgang. Also, da wird schon noch ein Feuerwerk kommen.
Okay, let's stay with the Austrian team. And this is Johannes Strolz. Strolz looking to get back to the form that brought him amazing success at the 2022 Winter Olympic Games of Beijing in China. Gold in the Alpine Combined, silver behind Clement Noël in the slalom. Then the psychological issues got the better of his performances on race day. He's coming back to that form, working so hard to try and rekindle the flame. And many believe he can do it. I hope he can. 147. Oh, Strolz so close to going down there. Real strength and skill to stay on the skis. 30 years of age. From the Vart Ski Club, a police officer by trade. One more Olympic dream is what the hope is for Johannes Strolz. Again, not bringing that speed efficiently off the pitch. Strolz 1.45. Party Veyreiter to the left, Christian Scherer, Chief Executive Officer of the Austrian Ski Federation to the right there. Good to see Christian and Harty together in the finish area, but the results aren't coming. That's the mistake that took a lot of the momentum and pace out of the performance. So be it, says Johannes Strolz. That's Marco Schwarz in his warm-up routine, but it's Great Britain's Laurie Taylor next in the gate. And Laurie Taylor looking to put the British team back into the top flight. A magnificent fourth position in Levy on Sunday of this week. Now again, like Hallberg, needs to show that he's no one-hit wonder and he can make it happen week after week. He needs to score like that in 11 races this season if Laurie Taylor is to move up into the big league and the top group. Taylor with that traditional, natural, lightning speed on the opening turns. Got to calm it down a little bit, Laurie. A little wild from the overhead drone shot. And you can see how that slightly overzealous arm action, and that's an indication to me that Laurie's just a little bit off with his timing. Let's get into the tighter camera work now. 0.82, still good enough to break into the top flight. Taylor needs to come off the steep now with power and skill. Looking for that line, 1.55. Oh, Laurie Taylor. Those small errors on the steep pitch adding up to a painful time from the British skier. 1.57, 23rd place. Good to see the British support in the finish area. But Taylor will find himself watching that performance very carefully against the clock. Let's have a look at some of the replays. This is the entrance to the steep pitch. I like these turns. But it was the second part of the steep and the transition to the closeout where Laurie slightly overskied it. Congratulations to Laurie Taylor with the new sponsor, of course, Maurer, an Austrian brewing company with a history dating back to 1945. Let's go to Marco Schwarz. Another skier with a great start to his giant slalom campaign on the podium in Solden, just down the valley here from Gurgl in late October, but struggled in Levy, 19th position. Openly admitted to the media that he was a little surprised and a little rusty with the slalom skis. Let's see if Schwarz, who was second in this race back in 2023, can make amends here today in front of the home crowd. 0.42 at sector 2 is a good performance. The rut is forming here. It's forcing the skiers to make a slightly rounder turn in the closeout. Keep it under a second off the pace to find a top 10 position. Marco Schwarz, good aggressive closeout. Marco Schwarz, 12th position, 0.81. Marco will be back for the second run. And just 0.8 off the pace. Surely a chance of taking a top 10 placing. And if you're in the shootout for the top 10, you're in the shootout for the big prize money and podium positions. Manu Feller is the best of the Austrian skiers, holding 6th position. Of course, Manu Feller, a former winner here. Also Fabio Gustrein on screen there, just to the left of your picture, lying in 8th position. This is Tommaso Sala. Fresh off the back of a Europa Cup success leading into these races. Now, on the comeback from injury, former top seed racer on the Audi FIS Ski World Cup Tour. Got to watch his footwork carefully. He's very quiet and calm with the upper body. He's got very, very pressure edge turn, clean on that turning ski. And a deceptive style, being so quiet with the arm and upper body, which to me is one of the technical keys. 1.14. Sala now. It's rutting a little bit, isn't it, on the lower section. And that hole that forms around the turning gate just makes the turn a little rounder and longer, and therefore you're making a slower, or taking the slower route down the mountain. Forces you to hold on to that turning ski. Tommaso Sala. Again, a racer who will watch his time very carefully to see whether it's enough to qualify for the top 30. Still a lot of talented skiers to go. A 59 races, and only the fastest 30 come back for the second leg. Zenhuisen for Switzerland, the gentle giant of the Swiss team, looking to regain his form. Another skier, former top 15 starter, that's seen his world rank plummet over the past few seasons. Pertl is next to challenge for the Austrian team. Pertl, another skier that needs to find some big results to be considered to the four-man Austrian Olympic squad for 2026. I know it's a long way off, but believe you me, selection already is the talk of the town here in Gurgl, in the Austrian Tyrol. It can be so brutal for top Austrian racers. As we said earlier, 9 of them in the first run today. Only 4 can be selected for the Winter Olympics. 1.2 off the pace. Pertl looking to get into that top 30. It's going to be close here. Let's watch that clock. Pertl, 25th position. Yep, it's going to be a frustrating, nerve-wracking waiting game now for Adrian. So after the top 30 ranked racers, the big surprise, and a very pleasant one indeed, is Eddie Hellberg for Finland, charging into joint second position with Tanguy Neff. Atle McGrath, for me now, with the course starting to rut and cut a little, has recorded the fastest first run time at 52.12 seconds. These skiers will be watching the rest of this race very carefully. Has Laurie Taylor done enough to qualify? Maybe even Dave Riding not enough to qualify for the second run in a very, very close first run top 30 shootout. Just to put it in perspective, there is just 0.66 of a second separating 10th to first position, and only 1.21 seconds from 20th to first positions. Atle McGrath will be fully aware that this is going to be a very closely fought second run, but as it is now, and taking into account his third position in this race last year, he will be the firm favourite going into the second leg. Istok Rodej will be next on course, followed by the British number 3 Billy Major, Zenhuisen, Holtzman, Rocha, all the way through to the 58 racers contesting this run. There's another Finn, Jesper Pohjolainen, and it will be Hugh McAdam of Australia to wrap up the first of the 2 legs here in Gurgl, in the Otstal Valley of the Austrian Tyrol. Rodeš for Croatia will be next to start. The Croatian number 1, Sami Koliga, picking up a DNF, and Zubo, Filip Zubcic, of course, lying in 20th position. So Istok, a former world junior champion, just looking to restore a little pride. Critical section after 30 races. Gate 6. Still a chance, I believe, for qualification for this last group of races from 30 to 59. Need to work with that rut that's developing around each turning gate rather than fight against it. And here is the 29-year-old Croatian, Rodeš. 2016, he was the World Junior Slalom champion. So much of his work with his father and coach, Mario Rodeš. Now, Istok, looking for his first points of the 26th season. Dives onto the steep pitch, nice and light and dynamic. And this is good skiing from the Croatian. Look how he's working with the ruts as the terrain starts to get a little rougher and tougher. This is good footwork as well. Little mistake there, but a lightning quick recovery. The light will stay red, but the challenge and the goal for these guys is now the top 30 to come back for the second run. Qualification, or the cut as it's often referred to. Oh no! And that's the second Croatian to go down. What happened there? All the hard work had been done on the first and second steep. Watch the skis here. Difficult to see the footwork. Oh, he just leans in a little too much with the upper body. Hasn't got the purchase on the outside ski. It's been a tough day for Croatia. Great Britain's Billy Major is next on course. Whilst Dave Riding and Laurie Taylor were stealing all the headlines, Billy Major still took points on Sunday in Levi, Finland, 27th. One of the fastest of the British racers in training, but can he convert those training times to the race piece? That's the story that we're looking for here today. 1.21 again. It's just looking a little passive. Technically sound and solid, but not enough race pace from Billy Major. 23rd position, 1.33. Billy Major will need a little bit of luck to qualify for that second run.
Und dann 1, 2, 3, 4, von 5 auf 6 geht es genau ins Bloch rein, oder? Von 5 auf 6 schaut es gleich, dass ihr den linken Fuß unter euch habt. Das ist ganz wichtig, weil es so eine ganz kleine Welle drinnen, dass ich da schaue, dass ich sofort den linken Fuß unter mir habe, weil dann kann ich da außen richtig attackieren. Seid parat, aus der Vertikale raus, zu Horn.
Detailed work and wording from the coach there, saying the importance to go from foot to foot, get good solid pressure and edge against the turning ski. Now this is Ramon Zenhuizen. Oh, and Zenhuizen's a DNF. Tallest man on the tour at over 2 meters, 6 feet 8. But watch the feet again. He's got pitched into the air. Pressure edge turn is late and low. And there it's game over for Zenhuizen. That's disappointing for a Swiss racer with 6 wins against his name. Come back for Sebastian Holzmann of Germany. Come back from injury, that is. 32-year-old from the Oberstdorf Ski Club. Now the coaches are telling the skiers that it is a very closely matched first run from a time perspective. You really have to push it. And Holzmann, another DNF. There's no time for cautious skiing here. You really do need to find that race pace. And we're going to see a lot of athletes start to DNF as they push to try and make that top 30 qualification. DNF for Holzmann did not finish. Day over for the German racer. Let's get back on course with Marc Rocha of Switzerland. Rocha failing to put points on the board in the race on Sunday, season opener of the Audi FIS Ski World Cup in Levi. Struggling again here. Oh, and the errors are creeping in as he reaches the flatter, more inviting lower section. And I'm not sure Rocha will make the cut today, 29th now. But I think there's a lot of talented skiers who will find a cleaner race line than we've seen from Marc. And I think, I don't want to be too cruel or hard, but with mistakes like this, I'm not sure Rocha will qualify. This gentleman had a very good race on Sunday, the season opener in Levi, Finland. Tobias Kaslunga from the Italian World Cup resort of Kronplatz in the Italian Dolomites. A very impressive 12th position on Sunday. Confidence is high, self-belief is where he wants it. This is good skiing. A real fighter. Too dissimilar with his style and technique to Laurie Taylor. 55.73 is the qualification time target. 28th position, less than 2 seconds now will be the time difference between 30th and first position. But now he's in the top 30 with that big mistake coming into the entrance of the steep, losing so much of the early speed. Kastlunga for Italy goes 29th. Luca Erni of the Swiss team carries bib 37. Real journeyman, experienced racer. If you go through the seasons, team gold at the 2018 Winter Olympics of Pyeongchang, the World Championship gold in the combined of the World Champs of 2017 in St. Moritz. But Erni now is battling to qualify here. Luca Erni, 30th position. Zoe Chastain, the media coordinator and finish area coordinator for the Swiss team, knows that that will not be good enough for a second leg. Second of the Belgium racers is Sam Mays. Armand Marchand will take Belgium into the second run, currently lying in 9th position. Sam Mays, part of the global racing team, an independent group that gives a lot of support to some of the smaller nations. 4/10 off the pace. Sam Mays here with a big surprise and upset. This is the way to tackle this short, small, sharp rut. And Belgium have two in the second leg. Sam Mays into 16th position. That is an excellent performance. So good to see some Belgian flags in the crowd as well. Armand Marchand 9th, Sam Mays 16th. Belgium are bang on point here today in Gurgl. That is great skiing. Now the youngsters from Norway, their Europa Cup racers come next. This is Erik Heistad Solberg. Now Solberg dives. 23rd position. Yeah, that could be there. Let's stay with the Europa Cup squad of Norway. They're young rising stars. This is Oscar Andreas Sandvik, the Europa Cup slalom champion of last season. That gives him a guaranteed start on the World Cup tour. And these young guns from Norway looking to shake up not only the A-team squad, but also the rest of the world. This is good attacking racing from Sandvik. Thinking about the terrain, working with the rut. And Sandvik here, another racer looking to make that top 30 qualification for the second leg. Sandvik really pushing hard in the closing turns. That's good enough. 26th. He'll have to watch and wait patiently. But so far, so good for Sandvik with bib 40. Let's go to the USA. Jet Seymour, 27-year-old from Steamboat Springs, Colorado, out of the University of Denver. Top 10, his PB in World Cup competition, but it was back in the 2023 season. That PB from Seymour tells us that he has the skills to mix it with the big names. 2.33 for Jet. Not good enough for a qualification going into the second run. Ooh, like his teammate, very wild in the closeout turns. 34th position for Jet Seymour. Not fast enough to make the cut. No second run.
For the American Jet Seymour.
Allrounder, Alpine, Nordisch, akrobatisch, alles.
This is Simon Ruland, carrying 42 for Austria. 28-year-old coming back from injury. Fantastic split times here. Simon Ruland taking full advantage here. Nice fast feet in the closeout. Surely it's good enough. And in 11th position for Simon Ruland is quite spectacular. That is the way to play when you've got all the Olympic selectors watching on in the finish area, including Roswitha Stadlober, president of the Austrian Ski Federation. Struggled on the opening turn, seemed to fire him up. Brilliant. Theodor Brocken of Norway, world junior slalom champion. Oh, Theodor's in trouble. Almost stops and starts again. Just 21 years of age in his 12th World Cup start. Another hugely gifted and talented skier coming out of the Norway academies. No qualification today, but a name to watch. Theodor Brocken, world junior champion in slalom for 2025. Still a chance to break into the top 15, never mind. Now, Sturm, Joshua Sturm for Austria. He hasn't had to travel far. He's from the Ottsdal Valley. And off the Pitchstall Glacier, actually just on the other side of the mountain here. Out of the Benny Reich Academy, of course. Oh, that is painful, almost cruel. 1.54 off the pace, 31st position. But Joshua Sturm fails to qualify. Luke Winters for the United States of America from Gresham, Oregon, USA. Good day for the American slalom skiers. Their top racer, Benji Ritchie, picking up a DNF. Jet Seymour failing to qualify. And of course, the later start numbers having to deal with the rough and tougher conditions. 1.75. Come on, cool hand. Let's see if we can qualify. Oh, no! Luke Winters goes down. Almost the same gate as Benji Ritchie. Off the steep onto the flat, looking for more speed. Oh. Not a good day for the USA. We'll turn our attention to Michaela Schifrin and Paula Moltsan in the women's race here in Gurgl tomorrow. Let's go to 46, Fabian Ax-Schwarz of Sweden. New skis on the World Cup Tour for Fabian this season. Switching to the Van Deer team. A really talented junior, still only 21 years of age. And a real fast and furious finish here to try and make the top 30 cut. This one will be close. 53.61, target time to qualify. And he's there! Yes, Sweden have finally a bit of luck. Fabian Ax-Schwarz for Sweden into 24th position. That should be enough to guarantee a second leg. Here's the first of the two Aussies. Louis Mullen-Schultz, 27 years of age, born in Melbourne, switched or moved over to the United States of America to pursue his dream of ski racing out of the Sugar Bowl Academy and the Montana State University. Enjoying some success on the NCAA, the Collegiate Racing Tour. Oh, just a heavy hit there, a little twisted and off balance in the closing turns. And the Aussie misses the cut. 40th position for Louis Mullen-Schultz. Needs to be a little cleaner on those closeout turns. Louis knows that better than I do. This is Matteo Cannins. Now, Matteo Cannins, an Italian skier, but actually attended the Austrian Stams Ski Academy. He's now 27 years of age. He's been out for the last season due to injury. Good, solid performance, 36th position in his comeback race from injury. But but sadly for Matteo, not enough to qualify for that second run. Let's go to Japan now. Yohei Koyama, 27 years of age. Breakthrough came in the 23 season with an 8th position in Madonna, but never really gone any closer to that. And of course, Madonna di Campiglio, our first World Cup slalom of the 26th new year. On the 7th of January, the famous night event in Italy. But Koyama could be on track for a qualification here. Watch the clock. Nice, clean, smooth skiing in the closeout for the Japanese #1. Japan are in the second run. Yes, that is very good from Yohei Koyama.
Very, very well done.
Nice and soft in the ankles, the Japanese racers. Jesper Pohjolainen of Finland, looking to take a leaf out of the book of his teammate Eddie Hallberg, who still lies second. Jesper, who was third in the Europa Cup slalom standings of last season, and that gets him onto the World Cup every week, should he choose. Yet to qualify in his career for the second running World Cup competition. This is only his 18th World Cup start. And once that clock goes over 2 seconds, the odds are starting to stack against the finish #2 here. Jesper Pohjolainen dives for the line. Misses the qualification of the second run. The fearless Finns will be looking to Eddie Hallberg for another big day, but sadly for Pohjolainen, his race is over. Joachim Salaric for Spain next on course. This is one of my favourite stats that I love to talk about. Spain won the Olympic slalom gold at the Sapporo Winter Olympics of 1972. Francisco Paquito Fernandez Ochoa. And since the 70s, Spanish skiing has always been a formidable force. And for Salaric, no qualification today, that is a shame. With the bar being set so high back in the 70s, they're all chasing for a repeat performance. Spain's one and only Winter Olympic gold medal. Now, Antoine Azolin for the French team is in trouble on the entrance to the steep, and there is no recovery. A lovely little helicopter there. Cheeky, very cheeky. But it's about slalom racing, not freestyle skiing here today. But watch this for a maneuver. Oh, he's mad. Takes his madness out with a little bit of a helicopter 360 spin. I love that. So does our director, Mickey Kugler. Yeah, maybe you should get on the mogul circuit and forget about the slalom tour. But Antoine Azolin is a DNF, even though he provides us with a little bit of entertainment. Juan del Campo Hernandez, second of the Spanish racers, 31-year-old skier. Never better than 17th on the tour last season, but has qualified 2 seasons ago, I should say. Oh, and that's a heavy hit at the bottom of the rut, rather than the smooth footwork, 2.39. Juan del Campo is in trouble here, and there's the DNF. He's trying to find more time. He's really pushing it. He knows it's an incredibly tight race. And 2 Spanish racers, 2 times DNF, I'm afraid to report.
Du hast gesagt, die Italiener sollen nichts machen. Der nächste kommt aus Italien, aber Südtirol noch einfacher für Miguel Ochoa. Simon Mauerberger. Gut, gell?
Simon Mauerberger for the Italian team carries 54. Out of the winter resort of Klausberg, Antal, in the Alto Adige region of Italy. Just 1 point score last season for Mauerberger. Very similar style, hasn't he, to Tommaso Sala. He's missed the cuts, 1.92, 46th position. Tony Tremmel for Germany, next on course. 30 years of age. Picked up points twice on the slot. Oh, Tony scrap. Anton or Tony, whatever you want to call him. They call him Tony Tremmel on the tour. Picks up a straddle on the entrance to the steep. Here's the replay. Watch the skis and the feet. And there you see. No, it's this turn here. There. We call that a straddle. It's a DNF. It's a D. No, it's a DQ, I should say, for Tony Tremmel. Here's Eric Reed of Canada, the son of the legendary downhill racer Ken Reed, and his older brother Jeff on the downhill tour. Look at these opening turns. Green light at sector 1 for the Canadian team, and Eric Reed working the ruts skillfully and smoothly. And a good grip on the wall of the rut, but then he straddles, and that is a real shame. Real skillful tactical skiing on the opening turns from Reed. Again, watch the atomic tips. And that's the error that takes him out of the race. Richard Leitgeb for Hungary. Now, Richard, most of his skiing in Austria as a youngster, taking advantage of his dual nationality. Now, Richard Leitgeb here. 20th World Cup start in Gurgl today. Yet to score points. Got the right tactic here. We work with the rut, don't fight against it. But unfortunately, as he hits 1.79 at sector 2, clock is going in against him. .41 now at sector 3. Good tactical skiing, but unfortunately for Richard, that's not going to be good enough to qualify for the second run, with only the fastest 30 returning to the mountain at lunchtime today. 47th position, 4.75 seconds off the pace of our current leader, Atle McGrath of Norway. Tuomas Laine of Estonia. Another skier that's part of the global racing team. Born in Otepää, lives in Götzens, Austria. Moved over to the Austrian Alps at the age of 11. Went through the Stams Ski Racing Academy, where some of Austria's shining stars have come from. Benny Reich, to name one of many. Points on the board in the opening giant slalom for Tuomas. Hasn't quite got the same form yet in slalom this season. And Tuomas Laine fails to qualify, finishing in 41st position. And the last of the first run races here in Gurgl, Austria, is Hugh McAdam. 25-year-old, I should say. Aussie in his 8th World Cup start here. And for all of you Austrian ski racing fans tuning in to FIS TV Live right now, I'm excited for the women's race tomorrow. Hugh McAdam, he's a talented skier. I like the way he stands against that turning edge. But it's a DNF again on the closeout. Well, that's disappointing for Hugh, who's bringing some really good speed off the steep. Doesn't get that ski in the rut, drifts low and late, and then he's run out of room to make the next turn.
Slalom Nummer 1 in Gurgl. Und die Abstände extrem knapp.
An incredibly close first run in slalom, 2 of 11 on the Audi FIS Ski World Cup Tour, live here in Gurgl, Austria. But it is the Viking and Norwegian racer Atle McGrath that was 3rd in this race 12 months ago that sits at the top of the table with the fastest run of the first leg, 52.12 seconds. Eddie Hallberg of Finland searching for his first World Cup victory. Ties for 2nd position with Tanguy. Timmy Haugen, Lina Strasser, Manu Feller, Clément Noël, Gestrein, Armand Marchand of Belgium, and Vinny Vinazza of Italy making up the top 30. Dave Riding is the first of the 2 qualifiers from the British team. Laurie Taylor 4th on Sunday, but not making the cut here today for the British ski team. Also some big names missing the cut, including Mickey Matt, who was 3rd here in 2023. Tough day for the Americans as well. with none of their skiers making the second leg. But the Norwegian team, well, looking as strong and as focused as ever. Norway with their top skier, I should say, at the head of the leaderboard here in Gurgl. Now we have a second leg to come, a new pattern of turns, and of course the top 30 going in reverse order. Atle McGrath will have a much rougher and tougher race piece to deal with on the second run, but there is no question Atle McGrath has skied magnificently. Now here's a confirmation of a disqualification. It looks like Filip Zubcic of Croatia. Watch the inside ski. Zubo will be out, which will bring another racer into 30th position. It means Tommaso Sala will now stay in the top 30 with Strolz, Sandvik and Billy Major. But well picked up by the jury under our race director here today and referee Marcus Waldner. So the new pattern of turns will be set, ironically, by the Norwegian coach. Ironically or favourably? That could be the question that I leave you with going into the break as we prepare for our second run. Andreas Kollenborg will be the course setter for the second leg. Will today be Tanguy Neff's first World Cup victory? Or will it be Eddie Hallberg? Or will Atle McGrath take his first win of the new season and take his World Cup tally of wins to 7? McGrath looked very confident, cool and controlled on the first leg, and with his coach setting the second run and second pattern of turns, for me, it's difficult to bet against him. Whoever you're cheering for, it is a very, very close shootout on that second leg, with less than 1 second separating the top 19. Let's have a look at this winning run from the first leg here. Atle McGrath. I had the pleasure of interviewing Atle a week or so ago for the Alpine Pulse Unplugged FIS official podcast. And he was very confident there. He was charging on the second run in Levy on Sunday, only to DNF, and now he's looking to get back to his winning ways. He's won 3 times, I apologise, 16 times on the podium. And if he can ski the second leg the way he skied the first today, I think he will be a difficult racer to beat. A tactical ski, smooth and accurate on the steep upper sections, a nice bit of power and drive in the closeout to take top position. And Atle McGrath, now quite an experienced racer, will know how to handle the pressure. And a chance for McGrath, with the Didier Couche helicopter salute of the head skis, to take his first win of the new season. So please take note. Second run starts here in Gurgl in the Austrian Tyrol at 13:30 Central European time. Here's the confirmation for the Croatian fans, just in case you're questioning the rulebook, of the disqualification of Filip Zubcic. Spectacular slow-mo replays here from Mickey Kugler, our TV director. Zubcic is out, Atle McGrath leads, and the second run starts here live in Gurgl, Austria at 13:30 Central European time. Now, the FIS TV team will be here just 10 minutes before the get-go, with Atle McGrath skiing the last of the top 30 qualifiers. They'll have to deal with the rougher and tougher conditions. It'll be a little rutted and a little bumpy, as we saw towards the middle and end of this first run. And getting the action underway will be Tommaso Sala. Then we'll see Billy Major. Dave Riding will be looking for a second run charge. No qualification for these racers. Sturm, Taylor going through the list, with only the 30 fastest coming back for that second leg at lunchtime today. Well, as the new snows and winter conditions start to fill the pistes across the Austrian Alps, thanks to Mickey Kugler and his team from Austrian television for these brilliant first-run conditions and pictures. But most importantly, let me repeat it again, 13:30, 1:30 p.m. Central European Time. Top 30 going in reverse order for the second leg of Slalom 2 of 11 on the Audi FIS Ski World Cup Tour. On behalf of the FIS TV team and myself, Nick Fellows, many thanks for your company, and we'll see you at lunchtime later today. It's goodbye for now.